SpongeBob turned into a clown, and no girl ever wants to dance with the fool who went and ripped his pants. I know I shouldn't mope
She will be
around,
doing
I
the full song.
shouldn't curse, but the pain feels so much worse.
Hi everyone, welcome back to What's Your Favorite Scary Story.
Welcome. Thank you for coming back.
We appreciate it. I'm glad you didn't get lost. I'm glad you found your way. You made it.
Yeah, it gets messy on the internet sometimes.
Good job.
Yeah.
Nice. I had to make sure we fit in our applause, so I figured we'd throw it right in and applaud our audience.
Applause for the applaudience.
Nice pun, babe. Good job. Good job. Oh, no.
It has begun.
All right, we shouldn't tangent too much because, as we've said before, we are planning for a wedding. We've got a lot of shit to do. So these next, couple months, probably 6-7 weeks, are going to be quickie episodes, but they're still going to be good. But probably just a little less tangentness, I
also
guess.
have 3 hours of sleep, if that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Well, we had trouble falling asleep last night.
We did.
And I blame it on my 2 Red Bulls and my fat nap that I took.
That'd probably do it.
Yeah, and I fell asleep almost at 3, I'd say.
Oh, no.
And I snoozed until 6.
Damn.
And I just rushed out of bed and got ready.
You did the thing.
I had to leave. I had to go.
I'm gonna go do the thing again.
But now I am exhausted and I couldn't nap. I felt like if I would nap, I'd lose my day, outside of work. Right. And I just didn't want to do that to myself. Jeez.
Also, WWE Kitty Edition is going on in the room in case you hear some things.
Yeah, someone call Animal Planet. I'm sure they'll want to film that.
Instead of the puppy bowl, it's just WWE.
Yeah, cats.
Cat edition.
Yep.
It would get interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, so since we're doing a quick episode today, you want to get into your fun, not so marbles, not so fun fact with marbles?
This week's very not so fun. So let's.
I don't know why I keep being optimistic.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Not so fun facts with marbles. So I do need a little help on this week's topic because I know about it. I didn't feel like I had to do research. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we sat down, I was like, why did I do this? Why did I not research it?
Because you're you.
Yeah, I know. But I want to talk about cults.
Okay, this is an interesting time to bring up cults in our quickie episode.
Well, I just want to...
Let's see what we can touch on them in a couple of minutes.
Right, so I think I don't know if it's just the environment's just factored in now that I'm thinking more about God, right? Or not God, because I mean religion.
Right.
And just how... a lot of it's just how you interpret it, right? Mm-hmm. I'm coming to terms in how you interpret. It's not even your own power, but the divine power, okay. And how it can be used to manipulate a group of people, to make them feel like they're nothing without this thing.
Right.
And it's kind of sad when I really started to think about it. But I respect it. I mean, I'm not trashing religion or anything out there. It's just kind of crazy how...
that's what it's become.
Yeah. And it sparked it mostly because of the documentary I saw on Scientology on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know if I should say that word, honestly. I feel like...
They're just tracking anytime that's ever said
anytime
anywhere.
The word is said. So now that I've said it, I'm not going to say it again. But every time I say it, that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
And I think this is very kind of not so important to me, but it does impact me in a sense because I was a part of it for a while, I guess you can say.
Were you like wholeheartedly, genuinely a part of it, or were you just interested in it?
I had a membership card.
Oh shit, I didn't know it went that deep, babe.
Yep, that's why
I am so glad I met you when I did.
That's why I get mail from them, and you've seen
true, right?
Yeah, you've seen the mail I get.
Are we safe? Because I know
we're safe.
I know it gets crazy like when you try to leave.
We're safe because it's the higher you get.
Okay, so it was just like how long was it?
My membership?
Yeah,
only 6 months.
Okay, still that's like an extended period of time.
Yeah, but it wasn't active. Like I wasn't an active member that whole time. I probably started.
I just know what I've heard off of like podcasts, so I'm not sure. I didn't know exactly how it works for every single person that joins it.
Yeah, so it's just like in the documentary, there's this guy who said he made a very good point in like how when you, and this goes to all religions that you're kind of in, right? Like something very good happens to you and it's like, wow, congratulations, like it's because you believed. And I don't want to like stain the word pray, but it's also like the energy you put privately into wanting this thing. So when you don't get it or something bad happens, it's because you didn't do it enough.
Right.
And like, it's like, well, is it really based off a chance like that? Or is it because I did the harder work?
Right.
Because like, outside of this context, like I've worked hard to get where I'm at. And like, my faith is really strong. But like, could I have solely relied on this with prayer alone? I don't think so. You know, no, and I don't mean to discredit like any divine power, but
so I think anyone that believes that prayer helps you like get you to the place that you need to be, I think what they believe is that it takes like prayer and the hard work. Whereas for me, you know, personally, I just think if you do what you need to do and you're a good person and kind to people, then you'll get where you need to be, and that's just my personal belief. And so, but I don't think the majority of people out there that believe in prayer think that's all it takes.
But because there's people that
there
believe
are people
that a huge chunk of it is prayer.
Yeah, no,
and that's kind of what I want to
like the people, the ones that don't like believe in healthcare and stuff like that. That and they believe that praying will heal them, kind of thing. Yeah, and
like they're just opting themselves out
from
real medicine
instead of believing that like God answered their prayers with doctors and medicine. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
there's literally a Family Guy like episode about that.
Yeah, and it's true, you know. And I think that's kind of like a culty mentality. Yeah, you know, that and it's because I feel like cults make you dependent on the organization or the leader, you know. Right. And yeah, it's crazy because this specific one, the it right, uses like the power comes from you, from within you. Like everything that is because of your intelligence and your dynamic in this human form, and there's really nothing outside of that.
Got it.
And so they make you feel empowered and like I don't know if you've ever seen what the heck is that actor's name,
the one that like
that is in
oh my god, I don't remember. Here, we can look.
Isn't
it up really
he like 007? What's his name? Is it 007?
Wasn't there like 18 007s? Hang on, I'm looking it up.
I don't know. I don't know movies like this, so it's probably not.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. If you haven't seen interviews of Tom Cruise talking about this, he is like he gets like the biggest ego stroke because he's like in the highest level of the highest level. You've paid millions of dollars to be on the level he's in this organization, and like the way he speaks about it is like he's just like on his ego cloud, and it's insane. Like I'm sure him and other millionaires alone have been able to maintain this thing.
For real.
You know?
And it's sad because those are people that have like influence on people.
Yeah.
So they're
And
like, well, if Tom Cruise is in it, like a famous actor, like it can't be that crazy for me to want to join.
Well, yeah, because then
You know?
they're promised. They get vulnerable people, and lure them in, and they're like, we can make you like this guy here.
Right.
Just come join us, kind of thing. And the basics of it is like very therapeutic, and I think that's what like interested me.
Right.
Because it's like having your own, when you're auditing, you have your own therapist per se, and when you're auditing, they are monitoring your body's reaction to traumatic memories you have. So as long as that monitor, until that monitor stops spiking red, and you keep on talking and talking and talking about your traumatic experiences, once it stops spiking up to red, then you're over it. But this takes weeks and like weeks. So it's a form of therapy. And yeah, they trick you into thinking that. Not trick you, because I do believe the power is in you, to be able to move on and like heal. But the fact that they use like these, I don't even know how to explain it, like
tactics.
These tactics to like just
manipulation.
Manipulation, and it's preying on the vulnerable. That sounds like other religions too,
AKA brainwashing.
Yes, brainwashing. And I just think it's like crazy. Like I'm understanding more how you feel about like just like the church in itself,
right? Because
you don't like the organization of that. And I remember for maybe up until a couple months ago, I'd be like, well, babe, like that's people's sanctuary thing, but
which was always like fine to me. I just didn't like understand how like if you didn't go to these places and follow these rules, like that automatically makes you like a bad person. You're not going to get into heaven.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, what if a serial killer grew up doing those things and then they became a serial killer? Like, I just don't think.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. Speaking of Jesus.
Yeah.
I take it back. But yeah, if that's what they want to do, it's fine, just as long as you don't make me feel bad for not wanting that in my life,
Right, yeah.
And don't brainwash people into thinking that's what they have to do in order to be, quote, saved.
Yeah, that's nutty. That's nutty to me.
That's the bad part to me about it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, this has been in my mind for, like, weeks before I saw this documentary. And it's a really good documentary. It's called My Scientology Movie, and it's on Hulu if you're interested in watching it. It's this British like guy who does like documentaries, but I don't even, he's like a journalist, I believe. He's a British journalist, and he's just trying to expose this organization. And he gets people that have been X'd out because they've spoken out about the abuse that they endured.
I've heard some stories and from people that like tried to break out and like couldn't at first, and like what happened to them.
And it's just like when you leave a toxic job and they just blame you and say they're just a disgruntled ex-employee, and it's like, no, I left for a reason, and so did everyone else leave for a reason. Like, it's, and so I think I just wanted to,
that was your not so fun fact.
Because it's like not just religion, but also like, just other personal parts of my life where I felt like, where it's like they've made, I've been made to feel that I need them.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, I understand and I empathize with people that want to talk about their experiences but are afraid to because of the
how they've been brainwashed.
Have others have been brainwashed, and how those people present themselves to others. Because if like, you do run the risk of just looking like, oh, they're just upset, and like, I'm a great person, like, they don't know what they're talking about, but it's like, well,
it's because they manipulated you. They can manipulate like people on the outside, looking in.
And it's like, it's sad that you're just, like, we're on the outside now, but we're just kind of holding our silence, kind of thing, Yeah. But yeah, it's like cults and cult mindsets and cult-like environments don't just happen in churches and institutions like that, but also happen at work. And I think it's really important to like understand like the environments that you're putting yourself in, because it's really freaking draining. And when you're out of it, you're just kind of like, whoa, why do I feel like my brain has a lot of oxygen now, but I feel so diluted? Like, I feel so like...
Right. It's because you're like free, but there's still like the trauma there.
Yeah.
Heavy on you,
Yeah. Because then there I go, like, I talked to you randomly about something that happened 18 months ago, and then I'm like, fuck, like, why do I keep talking about this? Like, it's kind of over, but like, the trauma's still there, and it's just crazy,
I get it.
Anyway, cults are crazy.
They're not fun.
10
out of 10 would not recommend.
I'm also not part of this organization. I never was 100%. We're safe.
Good.
I just don't know how to get out of their mailing system.
We'll look into it. I can figure it out for us.
And the only money I spent was on this book and like a DVD that came with it.
And you didn't even like give the money to it. It was like to a vendor somewhere.
Yes, and honestly, I did give the money to it. If you go on Hollywood Boulevard, right next to the Musicians Institute, there's a building right there to the right. And I walked in there. I was part of their, like...
Oh, this one's from there?
Yes, this one's from the place.
Because you also got those things from that, like, swap meet we went to.
No, that's before he became this.
Right. Okay.
So before...
So this is, like, from
LRH,
that building.
Yes, this is once he became established as this. But the books I got from the spooky swap meet are those books is what this is based off of.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got all of those things for $1 too.
$1.
And you got what, like 3 books?
Yeah, 3 books from his original.
And then like, that money didn't go to him.
That money did not go to him.
Good.
But this money did go to them, I should say, because he's not alive anymore. But it went to the organization. But this is the only thing I paid for. Even honestly, the membership, I had to pay to extend it, but I didn't. The 6 months is free. So I just like to say that, like, oh yeah, I had a 6-month membership. It's free as long as, well, it comes with this book. So I guess it's a whole package of like a starter package,
Right.
But yeah, don't buy into anything, especially, but anything.
Yeah.
When you are in a vulnerable state, just reach out to friends and loved ones. And rely on
therapist you find online that seems respectable.
Rely on people that love you.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to talk to someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice way to end a very not so fun fact this week.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And the cats are back. And on that note, it's time to get into this week's topic. Oh, we're doing snaps for the cats. But yes, we are going to finish this up nice and quick. It's going to be a really... fast little thing. So
yeah, sorry, I just took up 20 minutes.
It's okay. I can get through it quick if there's not a lot of banter.
Okay.
But since we're doing kind of quicker episodes, and just this week extra, I kind of didn't end up having a lot of time to work on it. So even though we did have suggestions from people, and that's kind of the whole point of this thing, I wanted to save those for when I can actually spend a good amount of time on it and do like proper research. So this week I thought of a fun little topic myself to do.
Oh, okay.
I found a little listicle, if you will, on listverse.com. I haven't heard of it, but according...
Did you say a listicle?
A listicle.
Like a popsicle of a list?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on a stick.
Oh. like those jokes from the popsicles that you eat, and then it says,
yep, except,
what do you call a whale on a chair?
What do you call a whale on a chair?
A whaling chair.
Yep. Except I found all of my research on these popsicle sticks. Anyways, I don't know who they are, but according to them, I have here the 5 most haunted malls in the world.
What?
I don't know if
Panorama City Mall on there?
No. I don't know if I believe... I mean, it might have been. I did 5. There was 10 on it. We don't have time for 10.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe this, but this is what was on there, and there's still some fun little things from them, and we're going to talk about them.
What do you not believe from it? What do you mean by that?
I couldn't find, like, a ton of information on
It's because they don't have it out there.
Yeah,
they don't want you to know. You need
point.
We need to go and talk to the janitors. They know.
Well, I have some employee stories in here.
Okay.
So, okay. Coming in as our 5th most haunted mall, we're going to end it supposedly the most haunted one.
Okay.
So number 5 is Plaza Singapura in Singapore. Opening in 1974, it was one of the country's first shopping centers and the first multi-story mall with an anchor tenant. Some stores reach 8 floors and there are 2 basements.
What?
Yeah,
that's a huge mall.
I don't know how I guess 2 like under floor level. So I did find some stories, like I said, from someone that used to work there, and they actually worked in one of the basements. So I feel like it was just kind of below ground level, and there were stores there, maybe.
Oh, like the Burbank Mall.
Burbank.
You know how you enter the Burbank Mall on the first floor?
Because it's kind of like the Thousand Oaks Mall, but like the bottom floor goes to like the back of the mall, and the top floor goes to the front of the mall.
The Thousand Oaks Mall?
In California.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm trying to think of... What do you mean by... Where does it go down?
Well, okay, so if you can enter on... Like, you know where Cheesecake Factory is?
Yeah.
That's like the ground, but you're on the top floor.
Oh,
but then if you go in where my work was, you're entering from the back, and that's the ground floor, and you have to go up.
Oh my god!
So it's
I
like
never
on a hill.
Freaking noticed that. Whoa, that's trippy. I never noticed that.
Yeah, but yeah. So he didn't say where he worked. He just said he worked. And oh my god, Arlo, I'm gonna punch you in the face. God.
Yo, Arlo just stabbed Alyssa with his nail on her inner thigh.
It actually didn't hurt. He just is annoying.
Yo, that's nutty though. The Thousand Oaks Mall. If you enter through the back, it's ground level. But if you enter through the front where the AMC is at, or Cheesecake, like you said,
it's also ground level. But it's it's the top floor of the mall.
It's the top floor.
Right.
Yo, that's nutty.
So glad I could enlighten you tonight.
Wow, it never crossed my mind. I wonder how many people go and never realize that.
I never like really thought about it. I just like knew subconsciously, I guess, because I grew up with that mall.
Is the Northridge Mall like that? No. I mean, technically, yes, because if you enter through the movie theater where Bar Louie is at, you know, Dave and Buster's, you enter through that, but you're on the second floor.
Right.
And then if you
enter... So that's like a basement. It has a basement as in stores.
If you go through the other side where the food court is at...
That's the second floor, too.
Yeah, but that's an above garage. But the floor level where it's covered...
Oh, you can enter down there?
And it takes you through the first level.
Okay, so you can't enter on the first level.
Yeah, but the second level, you wouldn't be able to get up there if that raised garage wasn't there.
Okay.
Because that's what the parking lot from Dave and Buster's. You know, you drive through.
It goes to that.
It goes to the top of the parking garage. I don't think about these things, babe.
I'm really glad that you're thinking about them.
Yeah. It made my stomach hurt thinking too much now.
Okay, now you get to listen.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. So, this person worked in somewhere in one of the basements at this mall. They would hear crying sounds and see flashes of white flying overhead which they said everyone there knew as a Pontiac. Have you heard of that?
What?
I have not heard of it either.
Like a Pontiac, like a car?
That's what I thought at first, but it's a Pontiac. And I guess a Pontiac comes from Malaysian and Indonesian folklore and is known as a female vampire or blood-sucking demon, which this part confuses me because I don't know how they're a demon, but they're also often thought to be the ghost of a woman who died in childbirth or of a stillborn child. It has long black hair, wears white robes, and preys on men and newborn babies. I'm not sure why they knew that flashing white light was a Pontiac, but it's just what the employee said, so I thought I'd share some information on it. They also said there were more distinct sightings at night when the mall was nice and quiet of children's spirits. They would even sometimes see them playing hide and seek, and I guess the security officers would leave sweets and toys around the mall for them. That's so cute.
Kind of like an offering thing.
Yeah. So less cute. This employee had one last story, and it's pretty crazy. Of course, this is all alleged. I don't know about it, but this is supposedly a first-hand experience that the employee had.
Okay.
So I guess there were a group of young girls hanging out at the mall. Two of the girls decided to pull a prank on their friends and started acting like all possessed. Except after a while, their friends realized it wasn't a prank, and they got scared and called out for help. A security guard was nearby and stepped in and brought the two, quote, possessed girls to the back of the mall by a loading bay. Now, I guess the employee that has all this info and a couple of their coworkers were back by the loading bay on their break, and they were actually asked to come help with the girls. So I was a little confused at this next part since they were at a loading bay, but the employee said that they took ash from an altar. I don't know because it's in Singapore. I don't know what their malls are like there. They also mentioned a fire command center, so maybe, I don't know. But they took ash from an altar, rubbed it over the girls' faces, and made offerings to the deity for help. One of the girls stopped struggling and fell unconscious, but the other one was still screaming as if in terror. Then the one that fell unconscious opened her eyes and started laughing. Then the two people that were holding her were thrown off their feet, and 3 other people had to grab her to stop her from attacking people.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is crazy, but I don't know. There was just a whole bunch going on, including struggling, screaming, and maniacal laughter. Eventually, the girl that was acting violent leaped onto the other girl and pinned her down. The employee said it seemed like she was sucking the life force out of her. The girl that was pinned down then exhaled a very long breath, and then they both collapsed.
What the... That sounds like a movie. Right? And then it's just an indie film in Singapore. And
this guy is ooh, this will get a lot of hits on the internet. Yeah. When they came to, the paramedics had arrived. The girls were treated for scrapes and bruises, but refused to go to the hospital.
Why?
I don't know. It didn't say. But later that week, the employees involved were given a memo not to mention the incident to anyone since it was still under investigation.
But here we are.
Yeah, it got mentioned. Well, I mean, I don't think it's under investigation anymore. But yeah, they were never told the outcome of what happened, I guess, the investigation. But apparently, this wasn't the first time that this has happened at this mall.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was our first mall, Plaza Singapura.
That is pretty creepy.
Right?
I'm going to do a scale-o-meter.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we haven't done that in forever.
Yeah, I would rate this. It's just hard because there isn't any other story for me to compare it to. But it is pretty creepy, so I'll give it a 7.
Okay. It's like those TikTok things where it's you have to rate things, but you don't know what's coming next.
Right.
So you have to take a gamble where you're putting it.
Okay.
All right. So coming in at number 4 on our list is Mount Pocono Mall in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Specifically the Kmart in the mall.
Of course.
Of course it's a Kmart or a Walmart.
It's a mart.
It's a mart, some kind of mart. So this one is like a shorty short. It's a U.
Okay.
So
super short.
Super short.
Super duper short.
So there was one night where 2 employees were working on completely opposite sides of the store, but they both saw the same apparition. It was a young woman in a long, flowing dress. Any guesses on the color of the dress?
A white dress.
Yep. And to make it even creepier, the spirit called one of the employees by their name twice.
What?
Yeah. I know, Arlo. It's so scary. There has also been instances of feminine products falling off of shelves, folded clothes suddenly being tossed, and signs falling from the ceiling. And that is our Mount Pocono Kmart.
Signs
Told you it was a shorty.
Like number signs, like aisle 14.
It didn't specify. Probably.
I'm assuming,
or just like marketing signs.
Oh.
Like eggs and stuff like that.
This one's not that scary.
I know. The apparition though, like said his name twice. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is pretty creepy if you're in the situation.
Right, you have
as
to
a
think
listener,
of it. You have to think of it like you're in the place.
I get it. But I don't know. I give it a 5.
Okay, that's fine. I will accept it.
Thank you.
Binks, it's okay, bud. Binks is scared.
I think he disagrees with my rating.
I think so. He disagrees with everything you do.
He disagrees with me.
He just disagrees with you.
Yeah.
So moving on to number 3, we have, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's spelled the Tiring Building in Cairo, Egypt.
Oh.
So it is one of Egypt's first department stores, built in the 1910s. It was unclear, but before 1920. But the district that it's in is kind of more of like a historical and cultural hub now. But some nearby vendors do still use the building for storage. But there is one place in the building that no one ever enters. This would be the attic. It has remained untouched for decades and is sealed with several chains and locks.
Like the Chamber of Secrets?
Exactly like the Chamber of Secrets, except it's up instead of down.
And they have a 3-headed dog guarding the door?
Yes. Yeah. Anything can happen in Egypt, man.
Yeah.
So the room is sealed and no one goes in there because I guess there are unconfirmed rumors that it is, that it used to be an execution chamber with a loose noose in the middle and a great space underneath it. So you weren't far off with like chamber, but it's a different kind of chamber.
This is weird though. Like in the attic, at the top of a mall.
Well, it's a department store, so it's just like one.
So was it there already, and they just built it?
Yeah, maybe, because it's like, who knows? Like, I don't know.
I'd have to see this.
I'm just reading you what the internet told me. No, it's fine.
I'm just being a douche.
That's what you do. That's what you douche. So people are afraid that opening the room will set the vengeful spirits free.
Like a Dybbuk box?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. So I searched, and there weren't actually any ghost stories out there from this place. So I would say this is kind of more of just like a folklore for the locals, you know? Yeah. But it was on the list, so like,
oh, did you know?
I already started, so I had to include it.
Okay, I give that like a 4.
That's pretty high.
Okay.
That's not what I was expecting.
Naturally. Okay.
Just give it a 4. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. So at number 2 is the Harrisburg Mall in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Number 2 in Pennsylvania. Shocking.
Yeah, I mean...
Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, but that's everywhere over here too, though.
Exactly. No, I know it's just part of like where it happened. Yeah. You know.
Well, I don't think I've ever gone to the Harrisburg Mall.
No. Oh yeah, because you were there for a bit, huh?
I visited.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we'll have to go one day.
Maybe. It's Pennsylvania.
On our trip to Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, yeah. That's the only cool thing.
It's a plan. So, I could really only find one account from this location, but that may be because it is now a dead mall, which for those of you who don't know, a dead mall is a mall that is basically like closed down, but it is still open to the public and has just like a few stores still operating.
I think I've seen pictures of it for sure.
I've seen like 10 dead malls on TikTok. Like,
well, not like on TikTok, but I mean like from
being over there, you've seen pictures?
From knowing people that are from
right.
there.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, like they just, it's just like the stores that are open, and then you turn to the left, and the rest is just like, which was across the street from my old apartment in Phoenix. I used to live across the street from Metro Center, and Metro Center was a dead mall.
Oh.
And it was exactly like that. Like, you'd walk in, and half of the lights were already off.
Right.
And it was really creepy. And I'll show you a video of Metro Center where they had an ice rink in there, too.
Oh, my gosh.
And they did a video comparison of it in the 70s or 80s versus, like, 2015 or something like that.
Okay.
Ay.
The cats. It's always the cats. So yeah, anyways, since it's a dead mall, maybe since there are like barely any people in there anymore, like more stories aren't really coming out potentially. But the story I do have is from when the mall was fully functional, and it's pretty dang creepy. Well, you'll be the judge of that, I guess.
Right. And my scale-o-meter.
Yeah. So I guess when the employees at JCPenney would close down the store at night, they noticed there was always someone outside that would watch them.
Ugh.
Except the person watching them was more of an apparition than a person. And this was confirmed by security guards, and it would happen every night.
I already don't like that. Yeah. First of all, just because JCPenney's in general just had that feeling. Do you remember
vibes. That? Yeah.
Was it the lighting in there?
Probably.
I just remember, like, when I think back on JCPenney's, like, I just think creepy.
Icky.
Not icky, but creepy.
I guess I don't remember, like, being that creepy. But that's just me.
They just looked like...
dingy and old.
Not dingy and old. It just gave this vibe of, like...
back rooms, maybe?
Like, yeah, kind of like a back room kind of feeling. And I also did get lost there once, so maybe...
You're just
traumatized all over.
But yeah, I guess it's like... this gave the employees a very spooky feeling, which I don't blame them. They're being, like, stalked by an apparition.
Yeah.
Like...
And it's confirmed by the security.
Yeah, like they saw
like,
this
yeah, we saw
too.
that thing, but we can't do anything about it.
But the funny thing is that when JCPenney was replaced with another store called Boscov's, the apparition was never seen again.
What?
They must have liked the employees at JCPenney better. I don't know.
What if one of the employees was, like, haunted?
Oh, being like haunted. Oh, yeah. That's a really good point. Oh, I hope that person's okay if that's the case.
Imagine they just never stopped seeing it and they went to their new location or their new job.
Oh my god. Okay, that reminds me, on my podcast that I listened to about this stuff, I don't know the whole story. It's this really long haunting of this person and their family. But basically, this person was being haunted for like years and years, maybe even like a decade or two, and then they like had a death experience. Basically, they died like on the operating table, kind of, for like a couple minutes, and then came back to life, and they were never haunted again. So they were saying, like, what if there was something out there that their job was to like be attached to this person for their whole life, so technically they did that, and then once the person, quote, died, their job was done. And then they came back to life and, like, kind of made a loophole in their, like, haunting situation. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, so what are they saying?
What?
What are they saying? What did the spirit accomplish?
I don't know. That was just, like, a theory.
Okay, can I give my theory?
Yes.
I think that the apparition spirit thing was there to save him.
Maybe.
And, like, when he was gone and under and, like, dead, the spirit was... that spirit had to be there to give him the energy to come back to life.
Okay, I really, really, really like that theory, and I want it to be true, but also the haunting story is one of the most messed up, like, hauntings I've ever heard in my life, and, like, terrorized him for years.
Oh, so it was like a bad haunting.
It was like
kind of thing.
worse than The Conjuring.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know, but that's a really good like theory, just like out of context.
Yeah, out of context.
I like that.
I mean, I don't know the story.
We'll just say that's it. That's better. Anyways,
it does sound better than being.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe the apparition like was following somebody in there. Anyways, yeah, okay. So we just have one more. That was our second last
that
one.
one's pretty creepy.
Rate it.
I'd give it like an 8.5.
Ooh, that's
like,
a good
I think
rating
a 9,
for you.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like 8 and 9. I think I'll just give it a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We're hurrying up, children. Can you please be patient?
Binks, bro, please. Binks.
I know your little brother's annoying you. He annoys us too, but it's his job. He's a baby.
He doesn't know any better, Binks. Be patient. Please.
Okay. So, the top spot of our haunted mall list is the Silverburn Shopping Centre in Glasgow, Scotland. Of course, number 1 is in Scotland.
Right.
Which
is in the United Kingdom, by the way, not England.
Correct. Good job.
That's why it's called the United Kingdom.
Because they're united.
You like the United States.
Right.
And England is a part inside of the United Kingdom. It is a country of its own. The United Kingdom is not a country. It's a collection of countries.
Okay. So the Silverburn Shopping Center was built in 2007. So it's not really like that old at all, which I feel like all of these other ones are.
But it kind of is. Like how long
now
ago is that?
it is
2007?
It's
almost like 20 years.
It's like almost 17. It was October, so almost 17 years. But
that's a long time.
The one in Egypt was built before 1920.
Yeah, that's
old.
So
just like in comparison, it's not that old.
It's not as old as the Cairo one,
right.
But it is.
Or like I think I think this is the newest one. Anyways, it's not important.
Now I'm interested. Okay, go ahead.
You can tell me after.
Yes.
So it's not that old, but I guess there was some construction that went on there, and construction has been known to kind of like unsettle spirits. So maybe the land itself just had like enough energy to then manifest into something, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, so there seems to be the spirit of a woman who is known to haunt the mall. She is seen in all black, old-timey clothing, and she is seen a lot.
Like Winchester old-timey?
It just said like period time clothing.
But you said 2007.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe the land has some like residual energy there from like a past time.
And then she's like, "What the heck is this?"
She's like in period clothing, aka like low-rise jeans and shit like that. So yeah, this lady's seen a lot. Sometimes it's as often as once a week.
Wow.
Yeah. She has been seen as a full figure and is always floating, like hovering.
Oh my gosh.
She has been seen by employees and customers. It has become such an issue that the mall called in paranormal investigators. So as I suggested before, someone from that team said that it is not uncommon for a spirit to be attached to a site before the present building was constructed.
Yeah, she's like, what the heck are all these things?
It's annoying though. I didn't really.
Why wasn't there one of these when I was around?
I didn't find anything like any of the results that the team got. Really, just that like quote from them, kind of. So
did you see who, like what group of porn?
What did you say?
Paranormal.
I think it was just basic name, like Glasgow Paranormal Investigators.
Oh, okay,
I think is what they were called. But yeah, so this place doesn't have like a ton of ghost stories, but I would say it has like the most like consistent one, like how much this woman's seen like literally all the time. And those were some of the supposedly most haunted malls in the world.
Yeah, I give that one like an 8.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
it's so consistent?
It's so consistent, and I've seen a floating old lady before, too.
And it's creepy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I thought. Because the old lady I saw was like 7 foot.
Oh,
she was tall.
God. So creepy.
Yeah. And my sister was there with me, but I was the one that saw it.
Of course you were.
Yeah, so it's a true story. You can ask her about it, but...
I believe it. But yeah, I would say like okay, if it's true, I would say that first one is like the craziest one with the 2 possessed girls, but I don't know if I believe it.
It just gives me, what's the Salem Witch Trials vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I mean, they're little girls. I mean, but I don't know. I don't want to sound like a douche.
Okay, so it's like if I believe, it's whether or not I believe the employee, because like there's 2 people holding one girl,
right,
and they just got thrown off their feet, supposedly, So that, like, I don't know how a girl would do that to 2 women and then have to have 3 people come and, like, stop her.
Like, how often do you hear of something that big and paranormal to happen with a group of people and no one can talk about it and it's not on the news? Mm-hmm. Like, you'd think that it would get out somehow because no one...
Well, maybe it has in Singapore. Maybe people in Singapore know about it a lot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be true.
We are 47 minutes into our quickie episode, so...
Well, I had a curious thought. I was like, how long do malls survive? Because I don't know this,
I don't either.
It says projections indicate that up to 87% of large shopping malls may close over 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. The number of malls declined 16% per year from 2017 to 2022. And 2 million square feet of mall space was demolished in 2022.
Do you think that's partially due to COVID, maybe?
Yeah, and just online shopping.
Yeah. I mean, COVID boosted online shopping, 100%. And then I think people just got comfortable with that.
I've met people that just stopped going to stores and just shop online. And I'm like, that takes away part of the fun, though.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you
and
just
also,
want to go?
Because a person like you don't do returns.
I don't do returns.
So if it doesn't work out...
yeah, but how often am I ordering stuff? When do you see packages?
Right.
And, I don't.
Yeah, no.
Because I like to see, the tangible...
Yeah, the only time I'll do that is when it's, something I can't get in the store, or if I need it quick and I don't have time to run, Amazon Prime it kind of thing.
Right. But that's very
But, I mean, you know me, that's just, something I like to do, and it, gives me happiness, is, going shopping.
Yeah, it's just, the dopamine receptors of just smelling the mall in general. It's, a mix of, new stuff, boxes, and coffee. Yeah. That's,
And then the pretzels.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not really a pretzel person, but...
I love bread.
Yeah, just walking around, you get all tidied up,
Well, thanks for, another kind of, not so fun fact relative to today's topic.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, dying malls.
I just realized you mentioned Sarah Winchester, and you're wearing a Winchester shirt.
She's always on my mind.
I get it.
The Winchester.
She's got us in a chokehold.
Mystery house. Yeah.
All right, well, we should wrap things up. You've got some chicken nuggets to go eat, and I got a potato to eat.
Yeah, I just want to update on the Conjuring house.
Okay.
Same nonsense. Same boo is happening. The owner, Jacqueline Nunez, is exhibiting a lot of
unwell behavior.
Mentally behavior. Yeah. And you can read all about it on her on her Conjuring Facebook page, which she has began to put posts that say, "I, Jacqueline Nunez, the owner of the Conjuring house," and then she goes on a ramble about colonists in America and how they've become the wasps of history, erasing everything, eradicating all that stuff, when back when we went, they didn't want to talk about any of that. And they did not want to acknowledge the negative impact that the colonists had.
Interesting.
on the land in the house and native spirits there. And now all of a sudden, she's bringing it in and re-scripting her, what do you call them, tours, to mention what she is saying is accurate history, which technically it is. It's just the way she's doing it is. I think she needs some help.
And then there's things about like birds are talking to her.
Yeah, it's just a very
stuff like that.
Like a very complex. What's the word? Like when you have a high complex. God complex. Yeah, like she has a very godlike complex right now, and it's very.
She's basically convinced that she's getting all of the correct information in very interesting and like unbelievable ways. Honestly.
Right. Yeah. She really thinks she's like. She thinks. I don't know. Y'all need to go see this because this is.
You kind of need to like to understand. I think you just need to like read what she's saying, see her videos.
Yeah, and then you'll understand what we're talking about. But
as always, thanks for tuning in. We love you guys. I know we're doing short episodes now, but that doesn't mean we don't want you to send in your suggestions. They are always welcome to like 24/7. I don't have my email notifications on. It won't wake me up. Email me to your heart's content, please. Or where else can they send their suggestions?
They can send their suggestions to the Instagram at whatsyourfavoritescarystory.
Which is also our email, whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com.
But yes, thanks for all the support. We see you. We love you. And I just for my peace of mind, I don't mean to offend anybody about my religious talk earlier and saying cult stuff. Like, it's just, I just want to, I hope that we have an open space on this where we can just talk like humans and respect each other's opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. This is just my personal experience.
These are just like things we've been like noticing as we think about this more in depth.
And I think just as we grow up, we're just like, what, but I totally respect your choices, your beliefs. Just like I hope you respect mine. Again, this is an open space, and this is what I love about this podcast is that we can comfortably talk like adults and not cancel each other for trying to just have a constructive conversation.
And if you ever like disagree and you have like contradicting like thoughts,
I want to hear about it. 100%.
We could talk about it without just like wanting to punch each other in the face.
Yeah, like let's just be humans about it and grown-ups and let's just talk about it.
And don't be a Jacqueline Nunez.
Yeah, no. We're just about experiencing this human experience together. So let's just talk about it.
And we want to do it with you guys.
Yeah. So thanks. I hope you understand. I don't mean to offend anybody. That's the last thing this podcast would stand for. Like, we just want to be open to everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And I hope you understand. Thank you.
And
stay spooky.